how would you explain esoteric work to those who are discovering it for the first time? And how is this work being carried forward by the Lucis Trust?
A lot of people, as I did, and perhaps you also, came to esotericism through the study of esoteric teachings. And this is an absolutely essential approach, because until one can really understand the basic principles of esotericism, one cannot understand how they can best be put into effect, into operation. But the whole purpose of providing esoteric teaching, and the whole reason why individuals take up the study of esoteric teachings, is to enable them to become of greater service to their fellow men, of greater service in the world, in a world which is struggling through one crisis after another, mostly through lack of understanding. So that esotericism is literally a science, and it's been given many different names, including the science of redemption, the science of service, and these two are two aspects of one whole. To the extent that one can embody the esoteric principles that one is learning to understand and accept, so does a redemptive process become set in motion, which evokes a response from others, from the environment in which one lives. And that in itself is a form of service, esoteric service. But in addition to that, one can definitely apply the principles that one is studying and seeking to embody to serve specific areas of human life. It depends where one's interests lie. For instance, one can serve in the political field, in the educational field, in science, in psychology, in a number of different areas, or even as a worker in an office, as an economist, as a housewife. In any form whatever, one can become a little center of service through the transmission of energies that are appropriate to the type of esoteric principles we are seeking to live.
We often hear the phrase esoteric philosophy, which is something I think that tends to lead us to think of it as an intellectual pursuit. But from what you're saying and from what I understand, esotericism, as it's embodied in the Lucis Trust, or as the Lucis Trust seeks to share it with the world, involves not only the intellectual understanding of esoteric principles, which are the principles which underlie evolution on our planet, but it involves the giving over of one's life to service and to actually being able to anchor these principles within the individual so that they are then lived out and shared in the world.
All esoteric teaching is simply a means to an end. And the end product is the emergence out of this period of study and preparation of a world server. That is the aim and objective of all esoteric teachings, that they shall become so well understood that they can be adequately applied in service, either in a more limited sense, which is true of practically everybody in the early stages, or as facility develops through experience, and the experience of serving in a more extended world and planetary sense.